Hello there. Yes, and I just hit my hand on the radiator, and we are Geeks Assembled, and we have assembled here today, and it's movie night, and we're starting off the Christmas period. Yes, we're starting off December with the original Home Alone. Yes, an absolute classic Christmas film. I watch this every single year, and let's see what Lee has to say about this film. Go ahead, Lee. And what a nice jumper you've got on, by the way.
Well, thank you very much. And what a lovely blouse you've got on. Yeah, you just took me by surprise. You usually leave me to last. Yeah, right, admission here. This is the first time I have sat down and watched Home Alone from beginning to end. I've always caught it in between first 10 minutes, last 10 minutes, when it's all on the TV. So sitting down watching it, I did enjoy this. Yeah, by the end of it, I felt real festive. I did, to be honest. And that's not like me, because everybody knows I'm a bit of a Grinch. It's very good acting, comedy acting I just love Joe Pesci. I just love that guy. Him as Harry, the Wet Bandits, and his partner Marv. They made the movie for me. Once the comedy elements, the slapstick starts in the last sort of half an hour, it's just a funny film. Okay, I did want to throttle Macaulay Culkin some of the time, but it is what it is. I mean, it's a John Hughes produced movie, and he produced some of the most successful films from the 80s. As this one, Home Alone, was the highest grossing live action comedy in the USA. It was only taken over in 2011 by the Hangover Part II, I think it was. And it still is, though, the highest grossing Christmas movie in the USA. So it just shows you how much people love that film. Also, it was directed by Chris Columbus as well, who went on to do a few of the Harry Potter movies. But all in all, it's a very good family entertainment film, comedy, yeah, and it does pull at your heartstrings as well, especially with the the kid and the old guy in the church and stuff like that little speech there. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It's I mostly will put it on my list to watch every year now, because it's up there with some of the good films. I'm giving it an 8.5.
An 8.5, and I do like to catch cast members by surprise. And now let's go to our very own Kevin, who is called Kevin. Go ahead, Kevin.
Oh, thank you, Alex. Well, I was sitting when I saw this the first time. I already saw the second one. The second one that my father said, we're going to watch a movie and just sit down and watch it. So I saw the second one first and then the first one. But the first one is just a classic with Harry and Marv. Just so funny that they beeped the curse words. They changed it with freaking because of Harry. When they were shooting this movie, Harry was every time using the F-bomb. But yeah, they could have used that in a family movie, but they used it freaking. So yeah, every time he got something on his face, he was freaking, he was child friendly. And Marv is just the stupid thief that you can name and be, because he's just very stupid. And Kevin and the McCallister family, well, I was because of this movie, my father named me after the main character, and that was Kevin. So yeah, I got the name of the movie because he watched the movie, and then he thought like, I'm going to call my child Kevin, and then here I am. So yeah, I'm going to give this movie a 10 out of 10 because it has a very special place in my heart.
A 10 out of 10. Thank you, Kevin. Now let's see what Jason has to say. Go ahead, Jason.
This is definitely another memorable movie, which I've seen a lot of times. I mean, especially when I was a kid watching Home Alone. Definitely a funny movie. I mean, having some criminals, like invading homes, like Harry and Marv. I mean, definitely great characters in that one. Also, I noticed some similarities in a few movies, which also I did some research, and with John Hughes also done a certain other movie like Trains, Automobiles, and Airplanes, The House that Kevin lives in. There's a bit of similarity where Steve Martin's character lives in. And you also notice John Candy was in also both movies. Actually, Mikey, also Uncle Buck, and also McCallister was also in the same movie, which I found that interesting. Also, the old guy and his old wife, the old guy was also in the Trains and Automobiles. They didn't say who his name was in the character, but it just said the man in the airport and the man in the airplane, which is like very interesting. There's been just a couple of actors on similarities in those movies, but this movie was definitely great. Definitely an enjoyable Christmas movie. Always Kevin pulling these pranks on the criminals. I mean, definitely a very laughable moment. You got always have to feel sorry for Marv always having something bad happen to him, and with Harry, I mean, either way, if he's trying to open the door and he's got fire coming through, his hat. Or you got Marv opening the window barefooted, and there's just these light bulbs he steps on. And just with Kevin, having the I guess it was those paint cans. When Marv was trying to get back to his own mindset, that slammed him first, and Harry looked at him, then he looked at Kevin. Did not happen. I mean, it goes back and forth. I mean, how that happened. Also, when Kevin was scared of that, what's his name? It's like so much actors in this movie. Marley. When Marley showed up, Marley helped Kevin in the end of the movie. I mean, also Kevin was explaining Marley that he should talk to his son and stuff just to see his granddaughter. And so it has like between some moments and all that, and then some drama moments with Kevin's family. I mean, especially Buzz, the guy who played Buzz, also later on appeared in Supernatural Season 5, also in R.I.P.D., which is another comedy movie. But yeah, definitely some similarities, definitely some great actors. Also, not only that, the woman that played the mother of Kevin also appeared in the movie Beetlejuice that we reviewed like a few weeks ago. And yeah, definitely a great movie. I would give this a 10 out of 10.
A 10 out of 10. And I hate to think what he gets up to when he is home alone. Let's go to Craig. Go ahead, Craig.
Where do I start? John Hughes as the producer, writer, and with Chris Columbus. I mean, what a combination! You couldn't get any better than that, really. I mean, I was watching Ferris Bueller's Day Off last week, and then I didn't realize that he had done Home Alone, but then I realized when if you look into it, you can see lots of similarities to Home Alone. For example, when the headmaster knocks on the front door and he pushes the doorbell and it goes to an answer machine with a pre-recording on it, you'd only get that in like a Home Alone movie. So that was a nice little touch. John Williams, the music, I mean, I've got the soundtrack, but it's one of my favorite soundtracks. I listen to it quite a lot, actually. The whole film's concept about family's love and the Christmas tree being epitomizing that, and that's quite a moving part of the film that I like. But I love the whole I love the whole home invasion scenes when he steps on the micro machines. You don't see them anymore. But yeah, and I just love even the sets, like every set, I love the house, the interior, the exterior, even the church scenes. Those shots where he pans in on the nativity and the angels, and then you get that high upbeat song where he's running to try and protect himself and to defend his house. That's one of my favorite tracks on the soundtrack. I absolutely love this film. I've seen it so many times. I think I saw it in the cinema when I was like 13 or 14, and I saw part 1 and then I saw part 2 because my birthday is at the end of December. So I got 2 movies basically in the space of a year. So yeah, they're very special movies for me. And I like the idea that the main protagonist he's a kid, but he's growing up. He's playing an adult's role. It's almost like Big, this whole strangeness. But you'd only get that in like a 90s or 80s film. But yeah, I'm gonna have to give it a 10 out of 10.
A 10 out of 10. Thank you, Craig. Now let's go over to Susan. Go ahead, Susan.
Thanks. Wonderful movie. Wonderful movie. Super festive, super fun. I was amazed at the depth of preparation that he'd done. He actually had a plan. He rolled it out on the desk. He showed so basically, I went back to that scene a couple times when I was watching it, and so that was fun. And then I really liked the woman, his mom getting cross country traveled by a polka band. That was hilarious. I thought that his it was basically Murphy's Law. Anything that can go wrong with those criminals does go wrong with those criminals. And his I love how they prepared, like, with all the buildup of the kids, how they were fighting and how they were so mean to each other. And I guess one of my favorite lines is, "When I grow up and get married, I will live alone." And then boom, he was home alone. Anyway, that was hilarious. I also like the line, "Are you still hungry, or have you had enough?" I was like, that's hilarious. These are classic lines. Anyway, they come up later in later movies too. Anyway, so very quotable, very fun. Not really a character arc, except for at the very beginning. He's sort of forced into this exponential character growth, and then he's kind of like stays up there. I mean, that whole shopping trip with the coupon, that was like, it's something I didn't start doing till I was 30. So, I mean, here's this kid who goes from like 8 to 30, and then, stays out about 30. Anyway, that was funny. And let's see. Yeah, the church scene was precious, and so yeah, I'll give it a 9.5 out of 10. I really enjoyed seeing it, and it did make me feel very festive, and it was great. Good job, John Hughes.
A 9.5. Thank you, Susan. And what can I say? Well, I watch this every single year. I watch this every single Christmas. In fact, it's on TV all year round. I've seen it on in May. I've seen this on in May. But it's a great film. I just love it. Harry and Marv are my favorite two characters. The slapstick is great. The comedy is great. It's just funny, and it's funny all the time. Like I said, I watch this every single year, and it's always funny. I never get bored of it. It's a perfect Christmas film, makes you feel good, makes you laugh. It just flies by. You don't get bored of it. I never get bored of it. It's just great. It's a great, fun film. But I do have to say, I do slightly prefer number 2. I do slightly prefer number 2 to this one. And don't even bother watching 3. Don't even bother and in fact, I think there's a 4th, which I've never bothered with that one. But definitely, is it 5? 5? Oh no, I won't go anywhere beyond 2. 1 and 2 are brilliant. There's not 6. Don't tell me this is going up. Wait, are they releasing them now as we're doing this cast? It's gone from 4 to 5
1
to 6.
to 5, yeah. To 5. Well, the 4th one was horrible. The 5th one was, yeah. But the 3rd one is still good, in my opinion. It's still, but that's very different from the first 2.
Number 6 is called Bone Alone, and it's about a dog.
About a dog? Number 6 is about a dog?
Talking dogs, yeah.
Oh, jeez. No wonder it wasn't in the cinema. Anyway, yeah, well, I'm going to give this film a 9.5 just because I prefer the second one. So now I'm going to throw the floor open to everyone to speak.
Keep the change, you filthy animals.
Keep the.
That was a good impression.
Okay. What was that movie that was in the middle of this one? Does anybody know?
Sorry?
The actor was played by Michael Guido, played Snakes. From I don't know what movie. I just noticed that.
I don't know if it was a real movie or not. It might have been just
Angels with Dirty Faces. I think did they film it for Home Alone?
Okay. Cool.
The guy who plays Kevin is actually in a new advert now with the meerkats, isn't he? You seen it?
Yeah. And they did like
like a roller coaster or something.
On YouTube. They revisited him now grown up. It's like a comedy video if you check it out.
Oh, right.
Can't remember the title, but it's really funny.
It's a Macaulay Culkin. Being a child actor, he lost a lot with his childhood, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was in so much. He did like 15 movies before he was 18 years old or something like that. That's a lot of. He did a lot of work.
Did he?
His brother was in part 1 and 2 with him. The boy with the glasses who drinks Pepsi and wets the bed.
Yep.
And do you still do that, Lee?
I think he was in. Is it Scott Pilgrim? I think.
Scott Pilgrim? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, I think he was in Scott Pilgrim.
As one of the hated exes, yes.
Anyway, does anyone else have a
good cast? Really good cast.
I love John Candy.
Super fun. The polka band was, like I said, was one of my. That's adorable.
When you hear them playing in the music and then you see it snowing and the blizzard outside in the van, that makes me so Christmassy in that scene. I wish my uncle was Uncle Buck.
I didn't realise until Jason mentioned it about some similarities, but with Catherine O'Hara, who plays his mother, trying to get home, to get back to him, it does ring to Trains, Planes and Automobiles, which was made about 2 years before, and now Jason said it. Yeah, there is some very big similarities, but hey, if it makes a good film, reuse things. Why not?
Exactly. If it works, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I also forgot to mention it was also part of the scenes like based on Chicago because Planes and Automobiles and Airplanes was based on one of the scenes was based in Chicago, and also Uncle Buck based on Chicago, and also this movie.
And Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Yeah, you nailed it all.
And also as well with John Hughes, he got to know these actors that well. He knew who he'd want to work with again and again and again. So he, he's onto a good thing. Reuse the actors he's used before.
And even in Ferris, he would do a direct to audience speech to the camera, as if you were there with them, and you'd get these shots where, like on the ice rink, when he goes to buy a toothbrush and he's running from the policeman, you just get that one shot of the first perspective. That was just genius.
And who wouldn't want to sit in the living room with marshmallow and ice cream just on a plate piled high, yeah? Just eating.
Oh. My uncle said I'm Kevin grown up.
Someone who's lactose intolerant.
Yeah, but you're nuts intolerant, aren't you?
No, not me. No, bring on the lactose.
I am a nut. I just avoid
No, he's nut. He's got a nut allergy. Remember, he's got a nut allergy.
Ice cream and chocolate.
Ah, shit.
He can't go anywhere near nuts, otherwise he breaks out into a rash.
I'm not. No comment.
It's terrible. Working in a shop, it's awful. He's faced with nuts every day.
That is true. That is true.
Anyway, does anyone else have anything to add before we descend into chaos? As usual. Susan's not crying here, Susan. We're not going back to the cast.
No, I'm not crying.
Okay. The experience is too traumatic. I know.
No, you guys are great, and
is it Lee in that jumper? Is it Lee in that blouse? Is it the blouse?
No, okay, who chose this movie?
I don't know.
Was this from one of the polls that we do?
Yes. There was 5 films what came on top of the Christmas poll, and Home Alone was one of them.
Have you got Christmas
mentioned about Home Alone a while back?
Gremlins is definitely up there.
Craig, have you got Christmas pajamas on?
Have I got what?
Christmas pajamas on.
No.
You got Christmas pajamas on?
They're animal from Muppets.
Pajama bottoms?
Yes.
I didn't to show you up on cast. I remember
Should be naked.
What? You're not naked. Oh, shit.
The reason I asked the question whether or not it was from one of our polls is just so that people know that we do on Geeks Assembled Facebook group, we do polls, and if you want to join the group, just ask to join, and we'll add you, and then you can determine what the heck we do next.
Oh yeah.
All you need is a Zoom.
But you have to be 18 and older.
For the cast, yes, for the casts. That's all.
Yep, you need to Zoom.
But I mean, if you're on the Facebook group, you can vote in these things, and you can tell us what to do. Then we become your little puppet group.
Let's not go. Let's not go.
As long as you politely tell us what to do.
Yeah. Susan's going as far to say, "We'll be your puppets."
Master of puppets.
Puppet master too.
Anyway, let's get.
All right. I said too much. I'm sorry.
Let's get some order to this. Does anybody else have anything to add about Home Alone?
It's a damn fan movie.
Yeah, and you've never seen it before, have you, Lee, in full?
Well, no, I've seen bits here and there, because I always caught it.
You've never seen it in full.
Well, it was like the never-ending story. The same reason I've never sat down and watched it beginning to end.
Yeah, but this is literally showing all year round. Like, this is showing like every 5 months.
I'm at work during the day. I can't sit down and watch movies like you.
Oh, come off it. Come on. You just sit in the van watching movies. I know what type of movies you watch, but we won't go into that, ladies and gentlemen.
That's too
It's
graphic.
similar to Flash Gordon.
No, that's Craig.
Oh no, yeah, that is Craig actually. Yeah.
Donald Trump was in the second one.
Anyway, let's not end it there. Anyway,
We're not a political group.
I'd like to thank everybody here for joining me evenly. I'd like to thank you for watching. Don't forget to tell us down below what you think of Home Alone. Hit that subscribe button. And as ever, take care, look after yourself, and we'll see you next time.
And join our Facebook group.